Today on the Fireside podcast, I'm joined by Donald MacKay, president of Muskoka Highlands Golf Links. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Pleasure. Novelty for me, so looking forward to it. This
Yeah.
doesn't hurt, does it?
No,
Okay, there's no needles.
no, it's
Okay, great.
completely painless. Yeah. Well, no, as we gear up for golf season, I know we have got the simulator behind us, and I know that's probably been a very popular spot for everyone in town to come by and work on their swing in the off season. But yeah, no, thanks so much for coming on. Do you have a favorite course?
No, to be honest, I don't play as much as you think on the simulator. It's not that it's one I'm over here playing all the time. I actually don't get to play much golf either. When you work in the business, it's just one of those things that the golf
Yep.
business eats you up, right? At least if I was a chef, I could taste the food I was making. But in golf, I play once or twice a week, and I try to leave this open. And I haven't been able to play for the last few months because of my health, but I'm just getting back into it now.
Nice. Yeah, no, it's a great way to spend some time. And I know I usually take the cart, but really, if you're walking, get your steps in a week, and
Yeah.
it's a great way to spend an afternoon. Now, when it comes down to the course, do you have a tentative date for when you're looking to, I guess, get things up and running and get people out on the links?
Well, like you, we stare at that great big vast wilderness of white out there right now and wonder how long is it going to take for that to truly disappear.
Yeah.
And we don't know. To
No.
be honest, we don't. We have a lot of fun with our sign on the highway. Apologies to everybody, but we have a lot of fun with the sign on the highway, making people think we do know.
Yeah.
And the reactions we get when we went from 16 days to 61 days with all the recent snow
Yep.
kind of caught everybody by surprise. And then, of course, we just flipped the sign to 61.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying, well, what are you doing? You're killing us. You're killing us here. You guys are supposed to open. What did you go to 61 for? Well, that's part of the entertainment.
For sure. No, that's you know what? It's the $1,000,000 question, and I'm sure if you had a crystal ball, you'd be answering all sorts of questions.
Yeah.
Lottery numbers. And
Yeah. It'll be sometime after the Masters. We're
Nice.
pretty sure. We're watching the weather patterns. We need sunshine. We need heat.
Yep.
And if we can't get heat into the ground, it's not doing the grass any favors in regenerating itself
No.
from driving on it with carts or pounding it with golf clubs.
Oh, for sure.
Ideally, the grass loves to have 25 during the day and 12 or 15 at night.
Yep.
And it thrives on that because it makes us cut more. But we do open as quickly as we can. As soon as we can get dry,
Mhm.
then we'll open. And that can happen in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and just to go back to the Masters, looking at the tournament, any favorites for yourself?
No, I mean, you wait and see about the underdogs, right?
Yeah.
And Gary Woodland pulled off an underdog shot, or an underdog shock, I should say, at the last tournament, and everybody was rooting for him. You could not root for him with
Yeah.
what he's been through with his PTSD and
Mhm.
his brain surgery and stuff like that. And very emotional win for him. A bit of a connection because he played in a pro-am, or my son played in a pro-am with him. So, you get connected to these guys and you root for them.
Yeah.
For all those that have won it before, you got your green jacket. Step aside, let them make a new green jacket and
Yeah.
keep going. Yeah.
No, that's great. No, anytime really, sports is such an amazing thing for that, where you can see these stories where, there's these immense personal hurdles that many people, just the pressure of the tournament alone, but taking all those other things into consideration and just still pushing through is just phenomenal.
You don't want to be Shane Lowry right now after 2 weeks ago when he sold the farm on his last 3 holes. I mean, that's what happened. That happens out here too.
Oh, yeah.
Had a great round. I remember playing in a tournament here with some buddies, and I had a great round going. I was on the 14th tee, and his friend and the guy who was keeping score said, "Don, you're having a great round. You're going to come in under par." Well, I went double, double, double after
That's
that.
not
That
what you
was
say in that situation.
that was the end of it. And I
Yeah.
said to him, "John, don't ever tell me I'm doing well. Just leave me in my own world."
Yeah. That's like going up to a pitcher who's on a no-hitter
Yeah.
and saying, hey, you
I hate it when
got this, right?
the broadcasters do that. They'll pox guys by saying, this guy's run a hitter for so long. Oh.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. That's personally, I've never experienced that. I always shoot. No, I'm kidding. I'm a terrible golfer.
You're a
Yeah, I
good
am.
golfer.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
No, that's the important part. I love to get out there. I wish I was a little bit more consistent, but that I hear comes with time. And over the last 13 years of golfing, I haven't found it yet. But
Well, people invest in clubs. They invest in the gizmos and all that stuff. Invest in a lesson.
yes.
Because Keith, who's wandering around here right now, Keith would spend an hour with you and come up with they don't give you 33 things to do. They might give you most 3 things to work on.
Yeah.
And you'll find if you can just focus on those, your game will improve so much. If you get that under control, then you might want to get 3 more.
Yep.
But don't don't make it so crazy that your head's going 93 different directions when you're trying to hit the ball.
Yeah, no, it's so easy to get overwhelmed with, I guess, like just different techniques and different ways
Yeah.
of trying to do things where it seems you're absorbing it during the lesson. And if you're just taking in too much information, the second you get out there to try to practice it yourself,
We can't remember what
you're
what they
saying,
taught you.
okay, well, what was I supposed to do with my hands again? My shoulders were supposed to be. Yeah, no,
If they
it
teach you
gets,
one thing, then that's a great start.
so it sounds like lessons are something you offer here.
We do a lot of teaching. We do a lot of teaching, and that helps so much. People that have taken lessons are just so grateful for what they walk away with. Now, as long as they go down to the range and practice that,
Yep.
then that reinforces the teaching, right?
Yeah.
So you can't just hear it and then go to the first tee. You can if you want, but it doesn't usually work
It's
well.
not advised.
It doesn't work really well. No.
No. Yeah, no, that's something I've been definitely guilty of in the past where, I'm getting these impromptu lessons from my friends that are really
Oh.
good golfers on the course. And
Worst, the,
yeah,
the worst place to get a lesson from is a friend. And I tell young couples coming out, I said, now, is he going to teach you everything? Yep. I said, do you expect your relationship to last? It's like drywalling. It's a very
Yeah.
good test of a relationship.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
trying to teach my wife, when I play with my wife, what am I doing wrong? I said, you're not asking me, are you? No, I'm just shouting out loud. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Because our son is he used to teach golf, and he does other things with his life now, but he's a very good teacher. And so he will go out with her, and they will go through a lesson, or hints, if you like, just little wee tweaky
Gentle
changes,
nudges.
and she'll come back a better golfer.
I guess when you really have that like solid base foundation, when you go out and you get those like impromptu tips, you're able to implement it a lot easier than somebody who's maybe not as strong of a golfer. And then getting that on the 13th tee going, try to correct your drive by stepping back a little bit and
Yeah.
putting your foot forward. And yeah, no.
All due respect to great golfers, there's great teachers and there's great golfers. You don't see many teaching pros on the tour, and you don't see many tour pros on the teaching area.
That's true.
Okay, they're different animals.
Yeah.
They're different orientation. They both do their craft well, but they try not to get across the other guy's lines.
For sure. So when it comes down to caddying at a professional level, do you think that there's I guess there's a bit of a not teaching, but a second set of eyes. Do most caddies like teach usually as well, or is that something that
I think the caddies will offer second opinion on distance, aim, wind, all that
yeah,
stuff.
bit of an audit?
And also just encouragement to pull things back together again. I know that
Yeah.
you were listening. They had a little bit from the caddy on Gary Woodland's
Mhm.
win. And he just said, I'm just trying to keep him in the moment. Just keep him focused on the moment, and I'll leave all the rest of the stuff out.
Yeah, because it's so easy to just get caught up in
Oh,
that
yeah, you've
shot
got your
or
acceptance speech on the 15th hole. It doesn't work real well for you.
no, it's easy to put the cart ahead of the horse there.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you start first playing golf?
Oh gosh, when I was 7, 8 years old, I had a 5-iron and a putter. That's
Yeah.
all I had. That's all my parents could afford. And I played 54 holes of golf a day at the little Lively Golf Club, which was a par 3 in its day. It's now a full-scale club, but it was a par 3. And there were 4 or 5 of us. Go out, we had fivesomes. We'd go out and play. We'd go round and round, and it's in Lively, so it's an Inco town, International Nickel, up near Sudbury. The shift ends at 4:00, so the
Yeah.
miners and everybody come pouring out of the mines at 4, and they want to be on the tee.
Yeah.
So the rule at the golf club was after 4:00 we couldn't use the first tee. So no matter where we were on the golf course, at 5 to 4, we'd beetle it back to the first tee to get that last round in,
yeah.
and then we'd get home in time for supper. We'd leave at breakfast. My mom would pack a lunch in an old gas mask bag she had from World War II. I'd stay at the course. We'd have lunch, and we'd just keep going all day. 5-iron and a
Cool.
putter.
Wow. It just goes to show you don't, when you're starting off, especially starting off at a young age, like you can accomplish a lot with not that many tools in your bag. You can,
They say you can play any course in the world with a 7-iron and a putter.
wow. Yeah. No, I believe that.
And we have sometimes on men's nights we'll throw that at the guys. Okay, we're playing just 7-iron and a putter. And when they're finished, they're saying, "I scored better tonight than I've ever scored. What am I doing with all the other 13 clubs or 12 clubs?"
Yeah. No, it's true. You kind of tend to overcomplicate things sometimes, I feel. And I'm one of those guys where I'm always asking my friends, I'm like, so what's the distance here? What are you going to hit? And
Yeah.
then, trying to judge my club selection off of what they're going to choose, which is not the best approach because, you should know how far you're going to hit the ball yourself. But it's always that second. Yeah.
That's something that the simulator does really well. If you come out, you can get on the range and hit a 5-iron consistently. It'll tell you your average distance is this, a 6-iron, this your 7, your 8, your 9.
Yeah.
And it can go through your whole bag and tell you sort of what your range is.
Mm-hmm.
And as you age, your range becomes less as you get older, from the teenagers through to the, I don't know, 30, 40 years old, your range gets longer, and then it starts to, the ball comes back landing closer to your feet, I find, as you age. So,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing I find about, like, I play with some of my friends' parents, and they're not crushing the ball, but they're able to hit it so consistently where it's just like, that's the whole game. And they're
yeah,
able to really just play that game exceptionally well, score really well. Whereas, I'm trying to swing for the fences sometimes, and I ended up, over in the rush or the brush farther down, but then it's recovery time and trying to get back, and it's just not a good look.
meanwhile, they've gone plunk, plunk, putt, putt, and they're
They're
done.
waiting for me in the golf cart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you done fooling around yet? Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah. So you grew up in Lively.
Lively.
That's cool. What's
Yeah.
the golf club up there?
It's called Lively Golf Club. It's in the region. It's a well-known, well-respected club now. Built it out. I haven't played it in years. I haven't played it actually probably since I got married. Played it when I got married, and that was 1977.
Oh, that's cool. Well, from your first rounds of golf to getting married, you start playing there as a kid with a putter and a 7-iron all those years later. That's a really cool thing
Yeah,
to look back at.
yeah. It's I've always had the golf bug, and then when I started working with Bruce Evans, he was building golf courses. We were building 4 courses a year.
Yeah.
So I got really involved in the construction side and finance side, and I learned that I came to the observation that there's money to be made in golf. So we looked at the Muskoka market and said, yeah, there's room for a couple of more courses. So we built
Great
this one.
market.
And
Yeah.
he built it for me. So yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's such a unique connection. Like, not many people can say, like, their buddy built my golf course. Like,
Yeah.
that's a really
Yeah,
that's a really cool thing.
Well, I didn't have the money all lined up, to be honest. And he'd come by and we're building the course, and the tab's going up and up and up. And he said,
Yeah.
so you're going to pay us? I'm going to pay. And we had a handshake. That's it. We had no written paper between us. We had a
Yeah.
handshake and an eyeball to eyeball. This is going to work.
I love that.
And so we got finished, and he was finished his work. He said, so I said, yep, next week. Pay you next week. And I paid him next week.
Wow. No, that's, the, I guess, more old school way of doing business, but a lot of good business gets done that way, where it's a trust between two people, and they say, listen, this is the plan, let's make it happen. And
No,
it's not necessarily net 30.
I think from Bruce's standpoint, he knew that if wasn't able to finish it, he'd find someone who could finish it. So there was a backstop.
Yeah.
In his mind, I know there was a backstop. We never had to use it.
Nice. No, that's really, really, really cool. So I guess you've played at a lot of different places outside of your course.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere that you really enjoy playing?
We went to Scotland once. My oldest son was playing professional basketball over there, and we went and played up in Scotland. And we finished it. Our second last was on St. Andrews. We played 3 British Open courses: Turnberry, Turnberry, and finished at St. Andrews, one in the middle, just gapping. But yeah, and then the other ones were just, the last one we played was called Crail, which has been around longer than St. Andrews. And that's the old course. But the old course was 18 something, and the new course was 1890 something. One's 1870, but that's the new course. And they still call it that. It's the old course, the new course, right? And so, but my dream is to take the boys over and we just go and park ourselves and play one of the name courses in the morning.
Yeah.
Have a break, and then later that afternoon go out and play just a local 9-hole course that we found. Like, it's just not a named, it's just a 9-hole course. Play with locals if they're there, and just have some fun.
Yeah, I've heard about friends doing that, where it's just that same philosophy where they're not able to get onto the trademark or the well-known course, but just being able to play in a unique spot in a country with such a rich golf heritage, it's a really cool opportunity to have.
I think the same applies here in Muskoka. There's a lot of big name courses. There's a lot of courses that have cost tens of millions of dollars to build.
Yeah.
And they're the named courses, the Muskoka Bays, the Deerhurst, and all the Club Link courses. And I think that what the families will come here, or the member of the private club will come here with their guest, because it's not as tough a course. We're just a fun course. You can make your own trouble. Everybody makes their own trouble on a golf course. We don't make it for you. We give you lots of space to hit a golf ball. If you decide to hit too far left or too far right, there's nothing we can do about that. We can't. I've threatened to not cut the fairways and just cut the roughs down, because people love to play in the roughs and not on the fairways. But if we let the fairways grow, then they're not going to lose a golf ball because they're outside of the fairway all the time.
Yep.
But that's just in jest, yeah.
My kind of course. No, it's, I always get really nervous when I'm playing like really narrow courses. And I come from just down in Port Credit, and there's a lot of very narrow courses down there with subdivisions lining them.
Yeah,
So, wide open fairways are perfect for me.
yeah,
That's for sure.
yeah. Go back to the old fella's way of hitting it. Just hit it down the middle.
That's
That's all you
it.
want to. Just hit your 7-iron down the middle. Hit it
Yeah.
twice. You're on the green. I'm not looking for anything. Yeah.
No, that's perfect. Actually, I used to work at Mississauga.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was a dishwasher.
That's all right.
Very,
You had playing
prestigious
privileges.
job. Yes. But the good thing about it was the golf benefits and getting
Yeah.
to play that kind of course.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was a really unique opportunity. Me and my friend were there for a summer, and it's a fantastic place to play. And it was just down the street from me, but learned a lot about golf that summer, and about the industry as a whole, just
Yeah.
running a golf course or learning about how people run a golf course. And yeah, no, it's a lot more involved than I ever expected, but there's a lot of moving parts and
Yeah.
a lot of different things happening all at once.
Yeah. Well, I've stepped away from day-to-day operations, and our youngest son Russell is running the business now, and it's amazing how fast I've lost touch with our point of sale and some of the
Mhm.
stuff that happens to make it the stuff that I implemented years ago to get us started. Now he's increased it, he's improved it and improved it. So yeah, if you're not in it every day, life changes.
Oh,
So
100%.
I'm happy not to have to do it.
No, I can imagine, but seeing your son move into that role, that has to be a really cool feeling, having started the business and seeing it grow over all these years, but being able to pass the torch on to the next generation.
Yeah.
That's
Now
really cool.
to be fair, I mean, we built this in '93, so Andrew was 11, Scott was 6, and Russ was 4. 11, 7, and 4. And so that's when we opened.
Yeah.
So they had to drive the little range tractor we had to pick balls, and they had to sell balls. Russ at 4, standing at the range, giving him balls to somebody, and then them giving him cash, and him not quite getting all the math right on it. So he would just hold the change out. He would hold the cash bucket out. They would put their money in and take their change out. It's all done in honesty.
Yeah.
And away we went.
Yep.
And so Russ was handling that. Andrew would be out picking balls. I don't know what Scotty would be doing at the time, but he'd be busy doing something else.
Yeah.
And it morphed through to where they became staples on the cutting crew. And we built the back 9, actually. Their claim to fame is putting down 22 tractor trailer loads of sod in a week or 10 days.
Wowee.
That was going some.
That's crazy. That's almost like an unimaginable task. Like
It was a binding moment, you might say.
yeah. A lot of family togetherness stuff.
Yeah. You'd come in the house, and of course, my wife would say, "Just eat outside. Don't even bother coming in, because we were just covered in mud, right? Like you're just covered in dirt, lifting sod, and
It's like you're
and
farming.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so we'd eat outside. Yeah,
Get
but
the
then
hose.
you get or take your clothes off and
Yeah.
leave them outside and
Boy,
come
oh
inside.
boy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a core memory for sure for you
Yeah.
guys.
Sure, it is for them too. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it is for them. Yeah.
That's great. So when it comes down to the golf course, you've got the simulator, obviously, great course for people to play. When it comes down to warm-ups and stuff like that, and the putting greens and things like
Yeah.
that, when people arrive, what are some of those key features where, they should, I guess, engage with or look for when they come on site?
We have a full driving range down below us here,
Yeah.
right, which we operate. And I don't use it enough, I'll be honest, and many golfers don't. They just walk in and go to the first tee, and they hit a breakfast ball, and then away they go and play their round. But that's the entertainment side of golf. You're not trying to score hot scores doing that. You just want to get off the tee away from everybody watching you and
Yep.
go have some fun. But we do have the range, and a lot of people do go down and they'll grab a small bucket of balls and just practice and then come up and play.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got that many shots in me to go the range and the whole course. I
Minimum.
conserve myself.
That's I started doing that more recently. Well, last summer was getting to the course maybe about, an hour early or so, and just hitting a few balls, because I noticed a drastic improvement from that cold start methodology, let's call it.
Yeah.
To like having a little bit of movement, even stretching.
The
Yeah.
putting green is pretty important.
Yeah.
Putting green is pretty important. And get the rub of the green, they call it. Get this, because all our greens are cut the same. So the machine that cuts our putting green cuts
Yep.
our 18th green and everything in between. Nothing special about the putting green. It's just another surface.
Yep.
So if the ball's rolling at a certain speed on the putting green, you can be sure it's going to be rolling on that speed when you come to the 18th.
That's a great point, because having everything unilateral like that, or
Yeah.
like the same.
Well, a lot of people don't appreciate that, but
I never knew that.
because the putting green is right here and the first tee is right there, people naturally gravitate to the putting green
Mhm.
to at least see if they can get the ball in the hole.
Yeah.
And the holes are the same size; they're all 4 1/4 inches. We don't cheat on
No
that either.
tricks.
Yeah, no
No,
tricks there.
no.
So yeah,
Oh, that's cool. No, neat, neat, neat. Yeah, no, getting those extra shots in before the game can make, or the round
yeah.
can make all that difference. I guess if folks are learning or looking to learn more about the course and staying in touch with all the updates, what would be the best place for them to?
Yeah, MuskokaHighlands.com. It's a very interactive website. It'll take you if you want to buy clubs or anything like that. It's there. If you want to get lessons, if you want to book a tee time, if you want to talk to somebody, it's all there.
Yeah.
And we've made it very functional and very focused on what we do and just showing up at the clubhouse really and talking to Russ.
Yeah,
No, you learn a lot.
When I popped in here this morning, everyone's super friendly. And yeah, no, you've got a beautiful clubhouse. I love the it's called Post and Beam.
It's a timber frame, but post and beam, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's got a great feel to it, and talk about a beautiful area to swing the clubs. No, it's great.
It's we love it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, Donald, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Really
Look
appreciate
forward to it. Look forward to seeing it. Yeah.
We'll get this up soon.